What's up guys, just got done editing the latest episode of Bulking with Ben. I'm always up for like trying to share stuff with you guys that might be helpful, so for a while, for me anyway, I don't know if it's because I use iMovie or what it is, but I used to come on here for like the last month or two, and that yellowy orange bit there where it says other, that would literally be filled up to about there, and then the rest of it would be like apps, pictures and that, which would be like 20 gig. And I didn't know for so long how to get rid of it, and it was really annoying me because every time I exported a video, every time I even exported a picture for a thumbnail, every time I put photos or videos from my camera or my phone on here, I would have to plug in my hard drive. I've got my hard drive over there. This one you actually have to plug in as well, so it's even worse because I actually have to be here at my desk or just somewhere with a mains. Anyway, if you do suffer with this problem, I looked up so many videos and they said that you have to clear these sachets in the app library, but that did not work for me. There was like 200 gigs worth of other, and I was just getting so frustrated because I didn't know what the hell other was. But finally found a useful YouTube video, and it said if you use iMovie, it stores all of your videos, and I always delete mine afterwards because after I've actually got the full video and I store it on one of my hard drives, I figured that was it, and you just delete that video. But there's actually loads of other like backup videos and like all the files, even if you deleted them from your photos, they're still on there. So I cleared like the sachet for iMovie, that app, the whole app, everything that was on there. It doesn't get rid of your photos, it just gets rid of the photos that have been stored on there, so anything they've used in that app. Don't want to pound for fitness too much, but for those of you that actually want to know how to do this, go onto the home page, so just click there wherever you're running. It will kind of minimize. Go onto the go button there on the toolbar, go onto the home button there. You want to go to the movie app there, and then you basically just want to click on iMovie library and literally just move it to trash, and it will get rid of all the files that you've imported. So yeah, if you have that problem, that is the fix, I believe. Not long got back from the gym and getting my hair cut, which was well overdue. I'm trying to keep it every 2 or 3 weeks getting it cut because my hair grows ridiculously fast, and it's actually really irritating because it goes from looking like this where my head looks like tiny, but like I think because my hair's straight, I actually asked the barber this today because I went with something different. If you haven't noticed, I went for a 1 and then a 2, so kind of like a fade, and then on the top he was saying because it's straight but it's also quite thick, if I keep it too long I won't be able to spike it up like this, so it's a little bit longer at the front and then shorter at the back. And yeah, something else was happening today, quite random. On my way out the door to go to the gym, there's these builders across the road. This guy was mixing cement. He just randomly started talking to me about training, and he actually is an ex-boxer. The guy's like 58, but he looks so much younger than his actual age. You can tell that he's keeping fit, or he used to at least. I actually felt his bicep because on the way back he actually started, he asked me like what I did, and today I did back and shoulders, so I told him a couple of things that I did, deadlifts and that, and he was like talking to me about pyramid training, all these other things. I didn't expect to walk out the door and just have this guy randomly approach me and start talking about training, so it was kind of nice. The guy seems alright. He told me to look up his name. I'm yet to find him. I haven't actually like searched for him, but I think there's a Facebook page that might be under his name, so gonna give that a look later. Right guys, just got out of the gym. It's currently about 4 PM, so literally closing time. Just look at how much of a ghost town it is. The parking, this is usually filled up with cars, but there's like no one here now other than people that work here. I got here probably 3:20, so I did 4 exercises for back, 3 for abs, counted every single like rest and everything, counted every set, really quick, really intense. So it just goes to show that if you can put the work in to get a workout done quick and keep the intensity there, then you'll have a much better workout. I was kind of hesitating coming to the gym at all, and definitely recording the clip that I wanted to record in there. I was meant to come here with Luke, but he got held up at work, and he also forgot that it closes at 4 here, so he couldn't come, but I just left at 3, got here for about 15:15, went in there, and yeah, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, managed to pretty much smash out a normal workout. So you can do that with a training partner as well, but like you really need to be like dedicated and like committed to the workout, like both of you at the same time, to be able to like one person do their set, and then when that person's resting, the other person jump in and do their set, because it works out about the same amount of time. So if you got that, that's good. But anyway, yeah, good workout. Just gotta go pick up some things from Tesco, and then I'm gonna head off home. I've noticed it's quite dark out here at the moment, but I've actually got a flash on my camera that I've never used for recording, so I'm gonna use it now. Right, it's popped up, but there's no actual flash on, so to be honest, there's a whole lot of stuff about this camera that I literally have no idea how to work. Right guys, not long got back from the gym, and I'm just going to dive right into this training that I'm about to talk you through. Now, I did abs today as well as doing back, but the thing that I want to discuss is abs. I'm thinking the title of this video is going to be somewhere along the lines of building your abs during the off season or while you're bulking, because there are a few misconceptions, a few myths if you like, to do with ab training and how people get six packs and abs. And although my abs aren't exactly like really clean cut and like a full-on six-pack, I'm sure that once I drop the body fat that I hold, especially the lower body fat I go, the more visible they will become. The reason behind the title of the video, just like any muscle really, because you shouldn't be training your abs any differently. You want to be building them in the off season or whenever it is that you would be bulking, so that when it does come to you dieting down, whether it be for a competition or just in general, the details in the muscle and just the muscle mass is there, and there's little fat on your body, which makes everything just look so much better. So you don't really have to train your abs necessarily for them to show through as a six-pack, but the more that you build your abs, that when you diet down, they'll be like thicker and chunkier, and they'll be more deep cuts, and also the more developed your abs are, the more visible they will be during the off season also, because yes, your body fat might be higher than if you were cutting to reveal your abs, but because there's also more muscle mass there in the abdominal area, the more they're going to show through. It's all about how much you want to grow them and how you want to develop them. Now, a few mistakes that people make, or they might hear from magazines or the internet or their friend or whatever, is one, the rep ranges that you do. This shouldn't be very different to anything else. Sticking to like 12 to 20 reps is perfectly fine. Another common misconception that people tend to believe when it comes to getting abs, getting a six-pack, training your abs, is to do them when you're dieting. Now, when you're dieting, obviously, because the fat's coming off, you're gonna see your abs more, just like you would with any other muscle, but you aren't actually going to be growing the ab muscles if you're doing it when you're in a calorie deficit. Just like I said earlier about them being the same as any other muscle group, you have to train them when you're in a surplus to grow them, and then when you do cut down those calories, that's when they really will show. I actually saw a quote on Instagram the other day where it said, summer bodies are made during the winter, so don't only train them when you're on a diet or you're cutting or your calories are in a deficit. Train them when you're bulking so you can grow them. Now, as for the workout that I did today, there are a couple of exercises that I recorded today and a couple of variations that do target the majority of the abdominal area other than the kind of lower part of the abs. Because to really activate them, you're going to have to do things like leg raises, knee raises, however you want to do them. Any kind of leg raise is really going to activate that area. What I did, however, today was two variations of the rope crunch. So the first one that you're seeing here is where my leg is in kind of a 90-degree angle and my hips aren't on the floor. I'm not resting them on my feet, just focusing on keeping it in that upright position throughout the exercise, keeping your back straight and then bringing your elbows towards the floor where you see I'm holding the rope. You don't have to use the rope to do this, you can do any other kind of straight bar as long as it feels comfortable, and you can do the same movement as you would do with the rope. Now, this other variation of the exact same exercise, it's a little bit different because you're sitting down on the back of your feet. Your hips are a lot lower than the other variation, but it's the same principle. Although what you're going to want to be doing with this, if you imagine the first variation saying that the knuckles are your hips, you want to keep your back straight, your torso straight, and you want to crunch up like that, and that's really going to target kind of the middle area of your abs. Whereas with the sitting down one, because your starting position of the exercise, your torso is aiming kind of more upwards than the other variation, allows you to do a movement where you're more crunching up like that. So as opposed to keeping your back straight and doing that, like that each rep, with this you're going to be able to crunch up like that, and that's really going to activate more of the upper area of your abs. So if you have kind of an imbalance in your abs and you find that these parts tend to be quite a lot smaller, or that part seems to be small, but this is really well developed up here, then use these different variations to influence growth in that particular area. And then this other one here, this is another machine that's intended to be like a machine crunch, but the way I used it here, sitting at these sideways, I'm actually showing you two ways that you can do this: the generic way and what it's designed for primarily, and also the way that I use it, where I'm sitting either side of the machine in order to target each of my obliques, so doing one oblique at a time, or one side of my obliques at a time. Yeah, just the same movement again. Pretend as if you were doing a oblique crunch holding plates or dumbbells or a cable. It's the same movement, except you're doing it on a machine and you're seated. If you're using the machine for its normal purpose, where your hands are on the pad like that, or however you want to hold it, or whether you're at the side and you've got one hand on there and the other one's just kind of resting on there also, to make sure that you're not pushing with your hands and involving chest and shoulders and triceps or whatever. Just use them there, keep them stiff in that position so that you can keep it nice and tight here and actually use those muscles for what you're trying to move the weight with.